A splash echoed across the quiet lake, followed by a trembling voice that carried through the trees. "They stole my clothes, Cowboy, please. Please help me." Jake Turner froze mid-stride. He had only come down to the water to refill his canteen before sundown, but now, the trembling voice of an unseen woman shook something deep inside him. Fear, desperation. Shame. It was all wrapped into that single plea. And it didn't matter who she was or where she came from. Someone needed help before we begin. Don't forget to subscribe to Moments of Love, and leave a like and comment if this story touches your heart. He stepped closer to the water's edge, speaking gently so his voice wouldn't frighten her. "I'm not here to harm you," he said. "Where are you?" Behind a cluster of reeds. A young Apache woman slowly raised her head above the water. Her eyes were wide, filled with both embarrassment and fear. Only her face was visible, wet strands of dark hair clinging to her cheeks. "There were 2 men from a nearby camp," she whispered. "They saw me bathing and they took my clothes. They laughed as they ran off. I've been hiding here ever since." Jake felt something twist inside his chest. He knew the world could be cruel, but the kind of cruelty that strips someone of dignity hit him harder than anything else. "I'll help you," he said softly. "Just stay where you are, I'll find something." He turned away, took off his long coat and handed it back without looking. She took it with trembling fingers. "Thank you," she breathed. She emerged slowly, wrapped tightly in the coat, shivering. "I'm Jake," he said. "Nina." She whispered. He noticed faint bruises on her arms, and the way she kept hugging the coat, like someone who hadn't felt safe in a very long time. "Let me walk you somewhere safe," he offered. She studied him, searching for sincerity, then nodded. As they walked, Nina spoke softly. "Most cowboys avoid us or fear us. My mama taught me everyone bleeds the same." Jake said. The smallest smile touched her lips. When they reached his camp, Jake built a fire. Nina sat close to the flames, wrapped in the blanket he gave her. For a long time she was quiet before finally asking, "Why are you so kind?" Jake shrugged. "Because someone was kind to me once. I promised myself I'd repay it." She looked at the flames. "I thought kindness was gone from this world." Jake shook his head. "It's still here." As the night deepened, Nina shared pieces of her life. How her small band had been scattered, how she gathered herbs for her sick sister, how the men had followed her. Jake listened, offering nothing but presence. In the morning, Nina left with his coat wrapped around her, whispering, "You gave me safety." Jake watched her disappear into the trees. Days later, at a trading post, a thin young boy ran up to him. "Are you Jake Turner?" "I am." Jake answered, "What's wrong?" The boy swallowed hard. "My sister told me to find you, Nina. She's hurt." Jake didn't hesitate. He pulled the boy onto his horse and rode fast. They reached a small valley where Nina lay pale beneath a juniper tree. Her sister beside her, a deep cut across her ribs bled through cloth. Jake knelt. "Nina, what happened? Those men followed me." She whispered. "I led them away from my sister. But one had a knife." Jake worked quickly, stitching the wound. Steadying her breathing, she looked at him through half-closed eyes. "You came always," Jake said. "You're safe now." That night, they sat around a small fire. Nina's sister whispered prayers. The boy watched Jake with hope. Nina whispered, "When I was young, I thought the world had no kindness left." "You proved me wrong," Jake said softly. "Maybe the greatest kindness is simply not leaving someone alone." Nina smiled faintly as the stars filled the sky. Jake stayed awake all night, tending the fire and checking her bandage. At dawn, Nina whispered his name. "You stayed, of course." She reached for his hand. Why? Because kindness doesn't end when danger does. It stays. Tears slid down her cheeks. You've given me hope. By midday, she was strong enough to sit up. Her sister hugged Jake. The boy smiled widely. As Jake prepared to leave, Nina called, "Will I see you again?" Jake looked at the strength in her eyes. "As long as you walk this earth," he said softly, "you will never call for help without me hearing." A single tear fell down her cheek. Jake rode out of the valley carrying something warm inside. A reminder that compassion was powerful, that courage came in many forms, and that sometimes two very different souls meet in the wildest of places and leave each other forever changed.